Okay, I am calling this meeting to order at 2 o'clock. Natalie, can I get land acknowledgement, please?
Associated Students Incorporated at Sacramento State would like to take a moment to give honor and respect to the ancestors and to the diverse indigenous people connected to this territory in which we meet. The original stewards of this land belong to Nishnawbe, Crowley, and Miwok Native Americans. Keep them in your mind, carry them in your hearts, and we ask that you take a moment to consider your ancestors and your relationship to the land we're on. Thank you.
Thank you. Sadma, can I get the pledge of allegiance, please?
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then ceremonial silence. Okay, there is ceremonial silence. Lisa, can I please get a roll call?
Thank you. Chaco.
Present.
Villa Garza-Garcia.
Here.
Pudon.
Here.
Estrella.
Present.
Andrade Dominguez.
Present.
Ayukalan.
Present.
Nigdow.
Here.
Henschel.
Here.
Campbell.
Present.
Beltran.
Here.
Bolus.
Here.
Maria.
Here.
Hurst.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Curry.
Here.
Gallardo.
Here.
Montalvo.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Guerrero.
Here.
Gill.
Here.
Reyes. Denny.
Here.
Dalton. Rocha.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to be moving forward to the approval of minutes of 2023 board meeting and 03/01/2023 working board meeting. If there are no objections, the minutes will be adopted. Okay, seeing none, the minutes have been adopted. Now we're going to move forward to public comment. Members of the audience may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board or on any agenda item. If you wish to address the board, please sign the speaker identification sheet. When you're called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name and major clearly for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and the overall time is 15 minutes. Those wishing to speak on a non-agenda item will be called upon at the beginning of the meeting. Those wishing to speak for or against an agenda item will be called upon after the item has been officially introduced to the board. Every agenda item will be open for public comment before the board takes formal action on the item. At this time, if there is public comment, please step forward to the podium, sign the speaker identification sheet, and then state your name for the record. Yeah. And then after you're done signing that, you may address the board just let us know who you are, and just make sure to speak into the microphone, please.
This close enough?
A little bit closer.
This close enough?
That is perfect.
Alright. My name is, okay.
Sorry. Another thing you could just remove the microphone from theirs. Yeah, and then that way, just have it a little bit closer to you.
Hear me now?
Amazing. Yes, and then just make sure to project your voice a little bit so the mic catches it.
Here.
Yes. Perfect. You got it.
Hi, my name is Jake Lynn. I've been asked by before to not say where I work in which department, but I work at CSU Sacramento, and I'm a graduate student. I also live on campus. I'm also Jewish, disabled, and LGBT+. These are all communities that Hitler exterminated. In the past academic year, there has been 3 swastikas on campus, and then also recently a Nazi salute. That happened 4 weeks ago. Nothing has been done about that. It has not been denounced. I have tried to create events with campus, with housing and RHA, and also UBI, and they have either been pushed back or delayed or just disregarded. I've had 10 students who are Jewish come up to me so they don't feel safe. Do not feel safe. And a portion of those people are scared to say that they're Jewish or wear a Star of David, and so am I. hope this doesn't include any other students that are affected by what Hitler put out there in the world. My question to you, and this I'm not looking for apology, I'm not looking for any of that, but my question is, where can we go from here? What can be announced? What actions are going to be taken? Because right now, if I could, I would have left my job. I would have left this school because that's how unsafe I feel. And that's pretty much it. But that is my question for ASI as my student representatives. What can you all do to make sure that we feel heard and supported because we are being disrespected? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just gonna have to pop it in there. Thank you. At this time, if there is any more public comment, you may step forward to the podium and sign the speaker identification sheet and state your name information. Okay, seeing that there is no more public comment, we're going to move forward to our consent calendar. Under consent calendar, we have 2022-23-03-98, the State of Pacheco University Committee appointments. 2022-23-03-99, State of Pacheco recommendation to the President for University Committee appointments. 2022-23-03-100, De La Garza Garcia, State of Pacheco internal committee appointments. 2022-23-03-101, Andrade Dominguez, State of Pacheco faculty senate committee appointments. If there are no objections, I'm sorry, are there any others? Okay, seeing none, if there are no objections, the consent calendar will be adopted. Okay, the consent calendar has been adopted. Under new business, our first item I have is 2022. Oh, sorry, Tina?
We're receiving a lot of feedback. It sounds like it's from your microphone. Is it possible to change out since you do the most talking?
Oh. Thank you, I didn't hear that. Is that better? Awesome, thank you. All right, under new business, we have our first item, 2022-23-03-102, Udani, De La Garza Garcia, Checo, Heredia, Ventura, Nigdal, allocation of strategic priority funding for 1.2.1, collaborate with Alumni Centers Association and other campus partners on speed networking event for students. Is there a motion? AZ?
I move to approve 2022-23-3-102, Udani, De La Garza Garcia, Pacheco, Berea, Panchal, Nigdal, allocation of strategic priority funding 1.2.1, collaborating with Alumni Center Association and other campus partners on speed networking event for students.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Izzy?
As discussed in the working board meeting last week, we've been steadily meeting with the Career Center and the Alumni Association here on campus to figure out an event that we can do together to bring in alumni from the Alumni Association, and then the Career Center can provide the infrastructure and some of the logistics for the event, whereas ASI has come in to partner on food. So we are presenting this legislation to set aside $1,200 to order for the people, the folks at the event, which are going to be students. So just some of the things here: basic order, 45 minutes of open networking and tabling, 15 minutes of a keynote speaker, and then an hour or 2 rounds of mentor roundtables where alumni can mentor students that are currently going to Sac State. So is there anything else that anyone else has?
Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to a vote. All in favor of 2022-23-03-102, Udani, De La Garza Garcia, Pacheco, Padilla, Panchal, Nigdal, allocation of strategic priority funding for 1.2.1, collaborate with Alumni Center Association and other campus partners on speed networking event for students. Please raise your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. Okay, the motion has been adopted, or passes unanimously, excuse me. Our next item is 2022-2303. 103, Udani Operation Rule Updates to 2000.7 Board of Directors Scholarships. Is there a motion? Commissioner?
I move to approve 2022-2303-103 Udani Operating Rule Change 200.7
Second.
Board of Directors Scholarship.
Second.
Has it been seconded? Is there any discussion? Commissioner?
So as discussed during the working board meeting, the purpose of this legislation is to update the operating rules to align with campus and ensure that student fee scholarships are going to help ASI board members. As you can see, if you can scroll down a little. If you can scroll down a little, I believe. I'm going to read the red part, which we're going to add. The purpose of the Board of Directors Scholarships is to support board members in funding tuition and fees, food, housing, books and supplies, transportation, and personal expenses while in attendance at Sacramento State, and must attest that the funding will be utilized in this manner. A board member may decline receipt of the scholarship funds if no financial need exists to support its schooling expenses. It will only provide clarity and it will align our operating rules with the campus. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
Tammy?
So if we could scroll back to the red, anytime we put a limitation on it's that last sentence. Anytime we put a limitation on you can accept or you can refuse, I always recommend that we put a timeline in there. But again, that's of course up to you. How long do you have from the time that the scholarship is offered to when you have to decline it? Because I also know financial aid has to, I believe, award scholarships and award things in a certain time, and we do not want to pass a rule that's going to conflict with theirs. Thank you.
Jen?
That is a very good point. And if I might add to that, is in an effort to not make it too complicated, you might do something at receipt of the scholarship as outlined in the offer letter, and then put the onus back on to make sure, so the date doesn't have to move all the time.
All right. Sandra?
So does Druvisha need to make an amendment, like a move? Okay. Yeah.
Commissioner?
I move to amend to add the timeline within the edit.
So the board member may decline receipt of the scholarship if nobody just at the end of expenses.
Tammy?
There we go.
Tammy?
Perhaps add at the end of expenses as outlined in the offer letter. Sure.
Commissioner? Just kidding, Sandra.
Hi. Hello. I would say as outlined in the scholarship letter, because that's what we call it, the form that we give to the students to sign.
Commissioner?
Do I have to move to one or can I just keep talking?
Let's keep it clean and just start
Okay.
over.
I move to amend to add at the end of the current edited portion to say as outlined in the scholarship offer letter. Anytime? Yeah.
Second.
No, hold on. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it has been first and seconded. If there are no objections, the amendment will be adopted. Okay, the amendment has been adopted.
So now we're back to the main motion, which is all of the red cards.
Okay, so now we're back to reading the main item. The report for what was that? Okay, is there any discussion on the edits? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to a vote. All in favor of 2022-2303-103, Budani operating rule updates to 2000.7 Board of Directors qualified fees. All right, you may lower your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. All right, the motion is passed unanimously. Rob?
May I be recognized by the chair?
Yes, you may. All right, now we're moving forward to the ASI College Director reports. You will have a total of not four. We're going to have 2 minutes to deliver your report and 2 minutes for questions. I'm sorry. I forget how I did this just because we were in a little bit rushed. 3 minutes for the report. 3 minutes for your report and then 2 minutes for questions. You may use up to. You don't have to use it all. And I ask you that you please do not read your Hornets alert unless it's extremely important. But just let us know what you're doing. All right? All right. So for our first board report, we have Adderall. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. Just starting with the general information. This weekend was so fun and amazing. We had the CHESS conference. Due to that conference, I had to reschedule my Monday office hours. Over there it says March 10th, but something came up. I had to take care of a family friend. So my second office hours will be what's Thursday? 9th? 9th. Yeah, okay. March 9th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. It'll be on my Instagram as well. My internal committees, I am chairing student marketing and outreach. The last meeting that we had was on February 27th, where we talked about some of the updates that we had from the Alumni Center and some other programs that we asked for our project that we're working on. I know we talked about the Second Kings update, the Wellness Sexual Safety Committee, Wellness Sexual and Safety Committee. March 2nd, I had the honor of being appointed as the vice chair, and we discussed collabing with the campus programs, and we also appointed 2 new members to other positions as well. University Committee, the Lobby Corps, we discussed the following bills on March 2nd, and got to advocate for them on the state capitol, which was really cool. And then, again, my strategic priorities are all done, all aboard. Most of them will be done soon and towards the end of the semester. During my office hours, I worked on my board report and met with students, updated my social media, created content, worked on my joint council, and reached out to students for SMO to try to have students to join because it's a fun committee. February, it's over there. I'm not gonna bore y'all with what I did. It was a lot. And then for my ASI presentations, I am done, but still wanting to do more because I personally just feel like it's really nice to meet students and get them involved. And if they see me, they might be able to like run for my position. And chess was fun. That's it.
All right, are there any questions for Adderall? I have a question for the October 27th, not October 27th, that was passed, but I know you have a podcast, the second podcast that you're going to do with student affairs. I wanted to know the date for that. Like, when is that happening? When is that going to be completed? Adderall?
That is still being worked on. It's going to happen probably after spring break towards final because they want to do a special for that. Yeah.
Cool. Is there any more questions for Adderall? All right, seeing none, we're going to move to our next board report, which is ASI. ASI, when you're ready.
Yeah, Adderall brought up a good point. I thought chess was really fun. That was a big thing that happened this weekend. Advocacy Day on Monday, which was really fun. I on Thursday, 10:30 to 12:30 in the government office for the hours I missed yesterday, on Tuesday. You can scroll down here, pass the note. Internal committee updates. We're going to start grading ASI Scholarship Committee after all the submissions and stuff, so looking forward to that. The Bookstore Advisory Committee, we're looking to schedule another meeting towards the end of the semester. And Student Fee Advisory Committee, we met on the 17th of February and then on the 24th of February as well. Good conversations there about certain student fees. Really enjoy those committee meetings. For strategic priorities, we just got the money pass for 1.2.1, collaborate with the Alumni Center, so that's exciting. I'm going to work with the strategic priority team to create a menu and get all the items and stuff ordered and work out the logistics. I know there's still a lot of stuff to think about, so I'll be doing a lot of thinking. 1.3.1, Cameron just got back. Cameron from the Carlson Center just got back from the trip, so really collaborating with him to find out some dates that all the committee members for that strategic priority can meet for some interviews, but we have graded and highlighted the top 3 from each of the graders or scorers of the scholarship. 2.2.2 is done, 3.3.4, we have to work with the coffee and computers team to figure out a date, book all that stuff. Some office hours highlights. I helped the College of Business for a Biz Gen 1 event, which is really cool. I had Biz Fling, so even though Biz Fest is in the fall and the Biz Fling is in the spring, I think, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I had Biz Fling in the spring on the 7th. It was really fun. All the College of Business clubs that have come out of retirement and stuff like that are now around, which is really cool. The Honor Society, GIS, is now active, which is cool. And yeah, there's more meetings and stuff there, but just wanted to highlight all the chess stuff. That was really fun. And Advocacy Day on Monday, which is really great. We got to go to the little swing space in the Capitol. Got to see a bunch of students in red shirts. It was really I couldn't get lost just because there were so many of us. So it was fine. And I was like, oh, okay, where am I going? And everyone's like, oh, I'm going to the 5th floor. I think I'm rambling now, sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Izzy? I have one. What is the timeline for the coffee with commuters? Because I know that the office in general is going to be busy with elections and with all of the stuff that's going to be going on. So I just want to make sure that you and your strategic priority members are planning accordingly and making sure that, I know in some of the board reports says at the end of the semester, that's awesome, but also kind of not awesome because that's, finals, people are not going to be coming to campus. Your commuters are probably not going to be coming to campus other than one day. So I just want to know what the timeline is for that and where you guys are at. Easy?
We were in the Teams chat this morning between the strategic priority members trying to figure out a date. We should set a date to meet and confirm the time. So we'll do that by the end of the week.
Okay, awesome. Just keep the busyness in mind. That's coming to the government office. Okay, is there any more questions for AZ? Okay, seeing none, we have our next board report, which is Chris. Chris, whenever you're ready. Or Oh, I'm so sorry. I put yours over here. Hesh, you're next. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. You still got the same amount of time, though. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Okay, first of all, Happy Women's Day, Happy Women's One. Thank you, all of you guys, for a wonderful, great work in the world, on campus, in the ASI board. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, it's a still victim time. Drink a lots of water, but don't eat too much, otherwise we'll fall asleep. Okay, for the internal committee updates, in the Wellness, Safety and Sexual Assault Committee, we talked about the last event that we did, Raising Awareness Starts Now, and we try to improve it for the next one. And we also raised more than $500 for the walk, which is good. In the University Committee, in the AITC, in the last few meetings, we still talk about ChatGPT and how to make it useful for the student, but also avoid as a cheating. And then usual stuff like e-learning policies and other updates from the chat. In the Transportation Advisory Committee, we discussed how to make a less traffic on campus and how to make a visible signs for pedestrians, cycle and cars, so everyone will be safe. In the strategic priority, we are still going back and forth in the Alumni Center, but We mostly manage all of it, and it will happen on the 26th April. The time is still not that decided. And in the connection with the commuters, we still need to figure out the date and time. In the office hours, so in the 1st April, ECS has the big event, which is called the ECS Exposition, which is kind of like all the clubs will present their projects in the union, and our ECS department booked the whole the union, and they have the robotics fighting with each other. Then racing car will be over there. Then other clubs will do the presentation like playing games, and high school students are also invited, so they can know what's the engineering look like on the campus. So we are meeting with my clubs, dean, and the joint council to talk about that. First thing I want to highlight in the February is the panel that we did, how to run an office. So it was really great to talk about the experience that we had, me, Trovisha, then Chris, Laura. It was a really good time. Other thing I want to highlight is the ECS barbecue, which is a kind of a great event turnout.
30 seconds.
More than 500 students came up and signed up and joined the barbecue, which is really good. And yeah, in the last chess, which was great, met a lot of students from the different universities. Good experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Tej? Okay, seeing none, we have our next board report. Chris, you're up. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, so it's been a busy month. My office hours are 11:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. on Wednesday. On Friday, they're 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I won't read my special note to the Hornets, but I just wanted to touch on that March is Women's History Month, and in my message, I have something special written about Rosalind Franklin. So you can read it there. On to internal committee updates. The ASI Green Team has continued its discussion on the CSU single-use plastic policy. I relayed support from city ambassadors on the CSU single-use plastic policy resolution, but unfortunately I've met with city ambassadors twice and they haven't had, or excuse me, I've presented that city ambassadors twice and they haven't had quorum to actually pass a vote. So I'll try again tomorrow. With Anchor University Advisory Council, we discussed the science and practice of post-traumatic growth event, and then we also broke off into small work groups to do a SWOT analysis on Anchor University priorities. So strategic priority updates. Most of my priorities have been completed. We're still working on the priority to work with campus partners to discuss safety and educate about continued COVID-19 monkeypox safety during my office hours. I planned ASI events, responded to students, and then met with them about different concerns they had. Some of the different meetings I went to or events was I met with Laura Falkenstein and Emily Tupper from Student Health and Counseling. I've been meeting almost every week to plan the post-traumatic growth event. I've also had a meeting once every 2 weeks for a long talk anti-racism activation experience. I've had joint council meetings. I went to the How to Run for Office Q&A, Green Team Committee meetings, Anchor University Advisory Council meetings. I've met my Associate Dean, Robert Freddy. I meet with him almost every week. I presented the CSU single-use plastic resolution at City Ambassadors twice. I met with Legislation Affairs Coordinator Sidra
30 seconds.
Nawaz, I'm not pronouncing her last name right, about SB 11. And then just in the last time I have, you can scroll all the way down to some of the pictures I have at the bottom. I participated at the Great Hornet Cook-Off, so there's a picture there. Unfortunately, came in second, so I didn't win. And then there's some pictures from the chess event that I went to over the weekend. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Gina?
What did you cook, Chris?
Chris?
It was jambalaya. That's what I cut. The secret ingredient had to be beans, so I made a black bean jambalaya.
a meeting March 1st for your board report on the post-traumatic event. I want to know if you know how many applicants have applied to that event.
Yeah, so I ran a report this morning and we have 16 plus applicants. It's really exciting. I was gonna wait until the announcements to make the announcement, but yeah, it's really exciting news.
Super fitting. Awesome. That is awesome. That's going to call for a very lengthy process, but that's good because we wanted to do it. All right. Is there any more questions for Chris? All right. Seeing none, we have our next board report. Jade, you are up.
Okay. Hello. Happy International Women's Day to all the women in my life. So my office hours are Mondays and Tuesdays, and during my office hours, I've responded to emails. I've lost some emails and I responded a little late. I emailed professors about applying for scholarships, and I also sent that out to my associate dean so it can be forwarded to all students in the College of MSM. I've done some social media posts and updated my bulletin board. I've also had bi-weekly meetings with my associate dean, Dr. Ma, who's always so supportive of everything. Some internal committee updates for the wellness, safety, and sexual assault awareness. On March 2nd, we debriefed on the last event, Raising Awareness Starts Now. I was unable to attend because of time conflict with classes, and we also discussed upcoming events and partnerships. And then also, Lexa really encouraged students to join the ASI Hornets for the Out of the Darkness Walk, which is happening in April. And then university committee updates. March 2nd, I had the Alcohol Advisory Council meeting. I had communicated that I would possibly be late just because my lab ended at 1:30, but that day I actually got out, so I was able to attend the meeting at 1. And then the grade appeal committee, this one's a super long committee, but I always enjoy reading through everything and working with the faculty. The letters have been completed as of today. They're waiting for me to edit and add the letters, but I received the email at 11 o'clock and I've had class till 1:15 today, so I wasn't able to go through the letters yet. For strategic priorities, 1.3.1, explore the opportunity to provide a matching student entrepreneur growth grant. Oh, sorry, C now. So applications were submitted and reviewed, and then AZ mentioned that we're just waiting to schedule the interviews. And then on March 1st, I supported Chris at the Hornet Cook-Off. And then for the explore the possibility to do a social media takeover, there was a little bit of miscommunication, and it was supposed to be posted on Monday, but there was, like I said, miscommunication, so it'll be moved to a later date, and I'll keep you guys updated on that specific date. And then just during February, I did my office hours, went to meetings. Oh, and then on the 20th, I really want to highlight this. My joint council is in the process of trying to get apparel for the College of NSM, which I'm super excited about because the joint council's up and running. So this will be our first fundraiser, and it'll be the apparel for the College of NSM. So we're kind of trying to get that figured out. And then March 2nd, I went to the STEM Scholars Lecture, which was super awesome because I always love going to science-related events. And then a special note to the Hornets is don't forget to change your clocks on Sunday.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Jamie? All right, seeing none, we're going to move to the next board report. We have Veronica. Veronica, when you're ready.
Okay. So, just to go over my office hours, so because I was at chess, I will be switching it out, and I'm going to have office hours on Friday, same time, 11:30 to 1:30. But going on to my internal committees, Student Academic Senate, we met once since my last board report. The second meeting was canceled, but for the third meeting, we went over the faculty senate agenda and some of our strategic priorities. And then for Green Team, we had a presentation from Laura from Sustainability about Earth Day, and we've mainly been discussing the CSU single-use plastic policy, and also had a presentation from Chris. And then we discussed tabling at the AICP symposium as well. And then for the university committees, mainly for Academic Policies Committee, we've been going over the referrals from the Faculty Senate and some of the policies, so we've been editing them, and there are a couple that we're ready to send over to Faculty Senate Executive Committee, and also to deans and department chairs to review as well. For the Committee on Diversity and Equity, we had a presentation from Dr. Mia Settles-Tidwell and Michael about the goals of the Division of Inclusive Excellence and the AICP plan, and then we also voted Michael in as the ex officio member of Code. And then for the strategic priorities, so for the clothing drive, the donation boxes, most of them have been out already to the different colleges, and we have partnered with the Pride Center as well to collect clothing for their queer prom. And then the donation collections are going to conclude at the end of the month, and then that's when we'll start putting up the clothing racks at the different centers on campus. For the cultural celebration event, we have confirmed all the performers and all the students for the fashion show, and we have the flyers circling around as well for advertising. We're receiving all the supplies throughout the week, and then we're going to start putting all the goodie bags together this weekend. And then the Multicultural Center has been taking charge on the resource fair that we have as well. And then for events, so for February, there have been a lot of events, but some of the most important ones are the search committee for the Senior Associate Vice President of Public Affairs and Advocacy. So we've met a lot. I didn't know search committee takes that much time, but it's a lot. So most of my meetings are from there.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Veronica? Rob?
Yeah, just curious if then a group on campus applied to table, when do we find out from you?
Veronica?
Yeah, so I know Francisco from the Multicultural Center is taking charge on that, so I let him know that you guys applied for to table for the event, and I think he should be reaching back out to you, but if he hasn't yet, I can reach out to him to double check. You know?
On the professional clothing drive, I haven't seen anything that has kind of hit out to the faculty and staff. I know that usually there's a lot of folks in faculty and staff that will donate. So if there's any way you could work with partners who have access to maybe our campus briefing or something of that nature, or even a SAC send, would be amazing to faculty and staff on campus.
Natalie?
I also thought about that too, so I recommended to Laura that they should make a flyer and that we can send it out to like Faculty Senate, and so they know about the clothing drive and can donate the clothes faster, so they know about it.
Sarah?
The strategic priority group is meeting today to finalize the Saxon I will be sending out, and then we are also sending out a message for all of you to send out to your deans or to do a faculty Saxon. It will go out this week. I just need to double check that all of the verbiage is correct with the rest of the committee for strategic priority.
Alexa?
We started collecting donations this week, and a second flyer will be created. I contacted all the deans and associate deans of each college to start advertising the flyer.
We got 10 seconds, Rob.
I would just say don't forget Sacramento Hall, because that's where you get all your business fashion.
Thank you. All right. Now, give another just 2 seconds. Or just. Oh, okay. We're going to move to our next board report. I'm sorry, we're out of time. Sati, you are next whenever you are ready.
Hello. Alright, so we are in week 7, which means it goes super fast and busy, and weather is also not good. There is something still ongoing, which means people fall sick. So take care of yourselves and study hard for the midterm. ASI scholarships are open, and I would highly encourage each one of you to apply for the director scholarship, which means you can apply for your college scholarship including undeclared/express interest in graduate studies. Applications are due by 5 p.m. on March 17th, 2023, so don't forget to apply. Coming for the internal committee updates, ASI Finance and Budget Committee, we met on February 14th and 28th, where we had the student employment grant applicant presentation who have not submitted their applications on time. And after presentation, we reviewed the circumstances for each grant applicants. And in the second meeting of Feb 28th, we also had a brief budget overview by Mark and ASI department presentations for Government Office by Sandra and SEO by Reed and Kayla. For the University Committee updates, Union Wall and Audit Committee, I had a brief call with Jude Farrell, who is the Director for Financial Services at Union Wall Incorporation on February 26 regarding the Audit Committee chair interview scheduling and the next year Audit Committee as well. For the Friends of Library, we met on February 10th to suggest new board members. We go through the different applications and suggest board members, and we also discuss about the grand opening for Stinger Studio as well. In the strategic priority updates, I would like to highlight 1.3.1, which is the SAID award. So as AZ and JD mentioned, that's applications has been scored, so we are still waiting to finalize the interview. And for 1.2.1, the item passed today, and then event will take place on April 26th. And regarding the all board priorities, I also joined 1 hour for OGA office to voters to get registered on 2nd of March with Nikita and Dhavisha. Coming to the meeting and events, I would like to highlight some of the events for the 13th of February, which is IPG meet and greet. So IPG has their new Associate Vice President, Dr. Piram Prakasham, who is very awesome, very enthusiastic to create and hold like every other events, and where students can get chance to meet every other international students. Also in the March, as per my operating role, I am required to meet the academic advising for the first year's coordinator, where we discuss how they can help the students and what are the challenges that first year students are facing right now, which is major, like they don't know their status yet, like they don't know which are they coming under the action major or they are undeclared.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Sachin? Sure. Sorry.
Thank you. That last thing, can I ask her to clarify the last item about first year students, please?
Yes, Sachin?
Yes, so I had a meeting on 1st of March. Trev Nelly, I guess his name, and he's a senior director of the first year advising. And at Sexted, we have over 2,000 students who's the first year. So we discussed some of the challenges, like what are the challenges they are facing. One of the major concerns is they don't know their status yet. Are they undeclared or are they coming as express interest students? And they also create like a time management issues as well, and they are not aware like what are the graduation requirements they need to finish it. And housing insecurities and enrollment and registration as well.
Awesome. Any questions for Sachin? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to our next board report, which is Justin, the first board report, whenever you're ready.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can tell I haven't used the mic before. So yeah, thank you. This is my first board report. I've been in this position now for less than a month. I think this is like my 3rd official ASI meeting. So I'll just plug my office hours for anyone that hasn't seen it yet on my social media. As you can see there, I'm in the office Mondays 1 to 4 p.m. Usually I'm a little bit later than that as well. And then Wednesdays today, 12:30 to 1:30 before this meeting. You can also find more information about my office hours and contact me or follow me or whatever on my email being ASIGradDirector@csus.edu, and my Instagram handle is @SacsStateASIGrad. I won't go through my special notes on harness. It's just basically me saying I'm excited to be in this role. And I will say generally this, being in this role for less than a month, I don't have a whole lot on here. Most of it's been me basically being appointed to committees as well as going through my orientation. So I joined the SSJEC Social Student Social Justice and Equity Council, internal committee, university committees. I'll have a couple more that actually were added today, but ones that already I was appointed to was a Grade Appeals Procedural Board, AICP Advisory Council, Academic Policies Committee, and the ones that I've been appointed to today include the Graduate Studies Policy Committee, as well as the ASI Children's Center. I did have a meeting already for the Graduate Studies Policy Committee, which I had yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to write more about it on the report. That being said, we talked about the integration plan and aligning it with the greater university for people that are in a joint bachelor's master's program and figuring out how units would transfer between those two. Moving on to strategic priorities, I have recently joined in this week 1.1.2, which was the clothing drive that was talked about earlier, as well as 2.1.3, which is the promoting healthy living through an incentive-based activity. Haven't had a lot of opportunity to do much on those yet, but I'm looking forward to helping out on those as time goes on. As far as meetings go, I've been attending the ASI meetings, and I was fortunate to be able to meet with my dean already for graduate studies on the 1st of this month. Great getting to meet her. She's a fantastic dean. And I'm really grateful to the Office of Graduate Studies for having a lot prepared for Grad Appreciation Week in April. I'm relatedly trying to form our joint council. Hopefully I get that done in the next week. And there will be a lot of different events that we will be hosting in April along with the Office of Graduate Studies.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Justin? Lisa?
Do you have the dates for Graduate Studies Week in April?
Justin?
Yes, Monday the 3rd of April through Friday the 7th. There's at least one event every day.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Justin? All right, seeing none, that concludes our board reports. Now we're moving on to announcements. Is there any announcements? Mark?
Thank you. Since it ends at 4 today, I'm not even going to make an announcement about the Grad Fest, which is right across the way over here. So 4 o'clock, try to get there.
Thank you.
Our women's basketball team is competing right now for the championship, and it is a tournament championship against the first seed. Not certain how that's going to turn out, but if you get an opportunity after the meeting, check out how they did.
Rob?
Just 2 announcements. One is that I sent the executive leadership emails about participating in the symposium. I believe I received responses from 60% of you, so looking forward to the other 40%. I'm also going to expand the invitation to all the directors, but my invitation for each college to represent themselves via tabling is still open. I am running out of spots though, so if I don't hear from you by Friday, and tough luck, right? The second one is that we have our last Green and Gold speaker who will be here on Monday, April 10th in the ballroom. His name is Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali. He is part of I think he's Executive Vice President of the Environmental Protection Agency, and he's coming to talk about environmental justice. So as soon as I have flyers for you, I'll hand them out, and please start spreading the word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you thought about sending that speaker like flyer to the environmental studies program?
Yes, we're going to ask them to co-host.
Good idea. Leslie?
At what time will be the event?
Rob?
The speaker series is always from 12 to 1.
Got a question? All right, awesome. Jerusha?
As of right now, after deducting the amount that was approved today for the priorities, there is $1,375 left in strategic priority fundings. The next formal board meeting is going to be after the spring break. However, I highly encourage you to reach out to me if you want to use the money, or else I am gonna start sending an email to ask for any initiatives that we should spend the rest of the money for. ASI scholarships are currently open. I have already reached out to everyone in this room. We have enough scholarship applications for the general ASI scholarship. However, we need more for students with disabilities. We need more for the veteran scholarship. We have ample for Dreamers, but I'm still hoping that we could get more applications. We are looking for applications for all the ASI Director Scholarship as well. Some are struggling more than the others, but it's pretty much justifiable. But I'm really hoping that we can have enough scholarships. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me and let's get the goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Veronica?
Okay, so the only announcement I have is the cultural event, so it's coming up really soon. So again, March 13th, which is next week from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So right now, we have most of the performers confirmed, and we will have Sachi performing in our Indian section, and Salma should be performing for the Hispanic section. So we will have some of our board members out there. We would really appreciate if you guys could come out and help us, volunteer, but also just watch the performances and have fun. There are going to be some nice goodie bags that are going to be handed out at the end of the event, some tabling in the resource fair. So it's going to be a pretty good event, 4 to 7 on March 13th.
Thank you. Good. Okay. Alexa?
As mentioned earlier, we have started collecting donations for the professional clothing drive. There is a green bin in each college, as well as in the Alumni Center and Sacramento Hall lobby. And we will be sending out a sack send. In April, we will be distributing clothes through different centers on campus, such as the MLK Center, APITA Center, the Dreamer Resource Center, as well as the Multicultural Center, and a couple others.
Chris?
Okay, awesome. Tomorrow, Housing is hosting speed friending. So if you have any returning students that are in housing or something like that, it's an event where they can find roommates, get to meet people, and it's also for first years. So if you have any students that are interested are going into housing next semester or next year, it is from 6 to 8. It's in Elderberry and Beetle and Housing, as well as Women of Influence is on Tuesday. So I believe RSVPs are still open for that. So if you're interested in going to the event, that is open. It's a really powerful event where RJ is helping with that. We're doing some speaking and things like that. But especially since it's Women Awareness Month, I believe, it's really important, So other than that, yeah, enjoy spring break.
That sounds like a good event to go tell people about your director's scholarships. Thank you. Any other announcements for myself and Salvador? Natalie?
I have a question first and an announcement, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Do you have a flyer for that to share out, or is it just like...
Chris?
Which one, for speed funding? Or yes, we do. I can send that out to y'all today, as well as get you guys some information if you guys want to come out and talk about your colleges and things like that.
Awesome. And then Natalie, your announcement.
Okay, so I have 2 announcements. So I have been working with a professor in the political science department. Her name is Monica Tichka, and she's been really passionate about seeing what the university can do with helping with housing. And she approached me last semester about this to see what we can do. I even had a conversation with Sandra, and I talked with Ed Mills. And initially, the idea was shot down of putting a website up of helping how to find housing off and how to find roommates and how to deal with issues you might have with roommates or renter problems and stuff like that. So they finally have a website that's going to launch on the Sac State website, essentially with all these type of criteria of what you can do if you're having problems with finding housing or how to find housing. And it hasn't launched yet, but she reached out to me and asked if ASI wanted to provide feedback for the website. So I'm going to send out an email with a link to the website. It hasn't been launched yet, so it's not published. But if you do have any feedback by the end of the week, please provide me with that. Or if you guys want to meet up and just go through it, see if we have any feedback for it. Another one is Emily Tupper. She's the director of CARES. I spoke with her after a faculty senate presentation that she gave on the updates with CARES. And she mentioned the idea of starting a student advisory committee, essentially to talk about issues within CARES and stuff like that and want student input. So I'm going to schedule to meet with her in the beginning of April. And she did ask if anyone else would like to come along to see the possibility of starting something like that and having ASI involved in that process. So as soon as I send out the email, if you guys are interested, just please respond as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a question, Chris?
Is it possible if I'm added to the email list for the website, just so I can give it a little bit better? Awesome, thank you.
All right. Any other announcements before Justin, go ahead?
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, I'll just mention, I know the scholarships have been plugged a lot already today, but particularly for the other directors of colleges, I'll just mention that I think I appreciate Veronica in particular for giving me a platform to advertise the grad director scholarship at your joint council. But as you go forward and plug your director scholarships for your different colleges, if you could just give a quick plug for the grad one as well, so that graduate students that are involved with your joint councils know that they can also apply to the grad one, and it's not just based on their college that they're in, like for example, Allied Human Services. I would appreciate that.
Thank you. Miguel?
Hello. All right, so I have a couple of announcements. I'll go through them real quick. The City Ambassadors meeting will be happening tomorrow at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the Capitol Room, 3rd floor of the Union. Don't forget it. Voter registration. Don't forget that we'll be tabling on Monday, March 27th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. for voter registration. We still need to register voters to meet the strategic priority. Chess Advocacy Day. So for chess was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, along with Advocacy Day. We had more than 20 students participate in chess advocacy and made visits to 7 legislators' offices who support the students of our region. We've advocated for a total of 9 bills. I'm not sure if you want me to read out all the bills right now or not, but if you want to know more, please see me afterwards. And thank you to all the board members and students out there who have attended the conference. I'm sure it was a wonderful experience for everyone. And our next CSSA plenary meeting will be held on April 1st and 2nd. It will be held virtually. I currently have 3 board members who still need to fulfill that strategic priority. So if you're interested in attending this virtual CSSA plenary meeting, please see me afterwards with your availability, and that's it.
Awesome. Any other announcements before someone myself go? All right. My only announcement that I have is the Student Social Justice and Equity Council on March 13th is canceled because I am under the strategic priority of Glimpse of the World, and I have to be there. I've invited all my committee members to go. For those who are listening, if you want to go, it's going to be a fun event, very lively. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, so just please attend. Dates and times is what Veronica said, or date and time, March 13th, and then the times what Veronica said, 4 to 7. 4 to 7, that's all for me. Simon?
I have a couple announcements. So one is that we have executive committee meeting after this one. So yeah, please attend if you are part of the executive committee. Also, if you are interested in doing more advocacy on some of the bills that we advocated for the CSU, please let me know, because I'm going to start coordinating specific college directors under certain bills if you want to go and get experience testifying in committee or things like that at the state legislature. So let me know if that's something you're interested, or if you have students at large that are interested in advocating, then please let me know. Other than that, please drink water, take care of yourself. Midterms are in full swing if you have not finished them. Other than that, good luck.
All right, any last minute? All right, I am adjourning this meeting at 3:01.